Happenings podcast is brought to you by Sustainable HR PEO and Colath CPA, a local professional service firm supporting Madison businesses and nonprofits just like DMI with their various back of office needs. The firm aims to provide high quality professional services and be true business partners to small and mid-market employers. If you're interested in accounting, tax advisory, HR, payroll, and benefits administration, Sustainable HR PEO and Colath are local providers who are committed to serving Madison and the downtown community. Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of the Downtown Happenings podcast. I'm Jason Ilstrup, president of Downtown Madison, Inc., and we're going to highlight all the important things happening here in the downtown. And we have a very special and important discussion here today with Stephanie Hayden, who is the Chief Executive Officer of Ronald McDonald House Charities of Madison. This is an amazing organization doing amazing work for so many folks. It actually helped my friends out earlier in life, so it's one very close to my heart. Stephanie, how are you doing today?
I'm great. Thanks for having me today.
Absolutely. And we just got to start off with what's behind you. We've done this podcast I think we've cut a couple hundred of these things, and it's the first time a giant shoe has ever been so prominent in the podcast.
Well, luckily our namesake, Ronald McDonald, he shared one of his shoes with me. And so he gets to hang out here in my office. It does go out in the community as well at some events. So if you ever see the red shoe, it's talking about Ronald McDonald House Charities and our families.
Well, we'd love to hear what's the mission of the organization for those that don't know, and what work are you involved in our community?
Yeah, I think really our mission is a simple but powerful one. We care for families so they can focus on caring for their ill or injured child. And so we provide a home away from home at no cost to families when they need to stay close to the hospital because of a medical crisis. So here in Madison, we have our 31-bedroom house. Most people know about the house. It's a flagship. It's just steps away from the American Family Children's Hospital, and families can rest, cook meals, find a sense of normalcy during that difficult time. However, a lot of people don't know we also have a 4-bedroom Ronald McDonald family room at SSM Health St. Mary's. So imagine the house, but the family room's more like a cozy condo. So there's only 4 bedrooms there, but they still have all the amenities that we have here at the house. And we're very lucky we serve all of the area hospitals, and everything we really do is about reducing stress and just keeping families close to their child during some of their toughest moments of life.
It's such important work and hard work. How did you get personally involved in working with Ronald McDonald House?
So I've always known about Ronald McDonald House, and while I have been blessed that neither of my children had any kind of medical crisis, I did have a parent that went through a medical crisis, and I'm not from here, and so I had to travel home to care for my mom. And on the way there, all of a sudden I was like, where do I stay? So I've experienced it in a different way. I think my career has really been based on supporting children and families. I've done stuff in education and through state government, and really the culmination of coming here to the Ronald McDonald House and just really providing opportunities to provide comfort and care and hope for families is something that really resonated with me.
Talk about how do you navigate, with the families, and many of these children are, dealing with very severe illnesses. How do you help them? How do you navigate them through the system and provide the comfort while they're going through these times of crisis?
Well, here at that Ronald McDonald House, we want to make sure families are cared for. Everything that they might need, we want to take care of it for them so they can just really focus on their child. So we have 3 meals a day. We have transportation. We provide places and spaces for siblings as well as parents, whether they want to be creative in our art room, they want to play in our playroom or on our playground. Our study just provides just a quiet place of respite when a family just needs to take a big deep breath. And when you're in a stressful situation, that's a great way to do that. We also make sure families have access to some of those things we kind of take for granted in our own house, like laundry and exercise rooms. And we always tell people it's very exciting, especially we know in Madison, there's always parking challenges. We do have heated underground parking for families, which is really, really nice. And our rooms are similar to a hotel room. They have everything a family might need. They have their own bath. They have that privacy and the ability to just really take a breath in a moment when they need that.
I can only imagine, how much the families and the kids are going through in this time of need, right? And you all are there to step up, obviously next to world-renowned hospitals at UW Health, you mentioned SSM, but to provide those extra items. I got to say personally, I'm in the process of moving right now. And that is a chaotic experience without dealing with what you're dealing with. And so to be able to provide that comfort and that certainty it's so important. So thank you for the work you do. How many families do you serve on average annually?
Yeah, so we are very busy. So in 2024, our occupancy was 110%. And I'm not bad at math, I
Wait,
promise.
I'm sorry. How does that? I used to work in hotels. How does that work?
Yeah. So we are full almost every single night, and we are very blessed here in Madison to have hotel partners that are able to house our families whenever our house is full. So families still don't pay for it, even if they're staying at a hotel. And so we're able to ensure that very rarely do we turn a family away, thanks to our hotel partners. Now, I will tell you that if it wasn't for our hotel partners last year, 669 families would have had no place to stay. So that means they would have been sleeping in their car. They may be sleeping in the waiting rooms of the hospitals. And so we're very blessed here in Madison. It's a very unique. I tell people all the time, my peers across the country who are other Ronald McDonald House leaders, and they're like, "You have what there in Madison?" So we're very, very blessed.
It, it takes a village, literally. How do you make those connections between those businesses? Some of them may even be downtown hotels that are able to provide those services.
Yeah, so we've been lucky. We've one of North Central Group has been a partner with us for since the beginning, 32 years ago when the Ronald McDonald House was founded. We've recently added Raymond Management Group to our partnership. So over time, we've just been able to build these relationships with hotel groups that really want to give back to the community. And so it's been an awesome way. So I mean, we serve over 1,700 families a year total, and we could not do what we do without those hotel partnerships.
Wow. Well, thank you to those amazing Madison companies, North Central Group, NCG Hospitality, and Raymond Group to step up. I mean, it's
Yeah.
amazing. It's amazing the work that they do to sort of help. What programming do you sort of highlight? I mean, it's not just a place to stay. I mean, you're really encompassing the entire day and making things happen for these families.
I think one of the most important things, Jason, is food, right? Especially when you have kiddos and you have a lot of families, we go through a lot of food every day. So we make sure our families have access to breakfast as well as we have a lunch program. Not only do we provide lunches to our families, but we take lunches up to the American Family Children's Hospital, to all the units to make sure any family staying at the hospital, whether they're one of our families or not, has access to nutritious food. We know families don't want to leave their kiddo to go get food for themselves, right? When we're taking care of our kids, we're caring about the kid and we kind of forget about ourselves. And sometimes families just don't have the money to be able to go and get food. So we make sure that there's nutritious food available on all floors at the Children's Hospital so that that they have access to food. And then each night, we have groups that come in and make a homemade meal. It's really great for families to come back from the hospital after a long day and have a homemade meal waiting for them. And so we have beautiful kitchen space here that groups can come in and make meals and ensure that families are taking care of themselves.
You all are very dependent on the community, right?
Very.
How do you find your volunteers? How do you find this community engagement to make all this work happen? I mean, 1,700 different families you served last year alone. That takes a lot of volunteers and a lot of help.
So we're really lucky. We have a strong regular volunteer course. We have we have a very small staff, so we could not run this large house and take care of all of those families if it wasn't for the amazing volunteers that are here every week, every other week, however they have their schedule set up that help us not only greet guests and take care of whether it's cleaning the kitchens or making those lunches or whatever. So we are very lucky that we've had some volunteers have been with us since we started 32 years ago, but we're always looking for volunteers, especially for evenings and weekends. So if folks have something that they want to get involved in, we are a great place to come volunteer. And also, we're very lucky to have groups that are willing to come in and make those dinners. So it could be a business, it could be a service group, it could just be a family or a group of friends. But Madison is such a giving community that we have, I mean, most nights we're able to provide those homemade meals made by a group right here in our kitchen. And not other Ronald McDonald houses don't have that blessing. So they're, always trying to recruit. We've been very lucky. We share it. We tell people. We make it really easy for folks to volunteer, and we make sure that they feel that impact. I think the reason we've been successful with volunteers is you can't help, but when you're seeing these families, you just feel it and you understand the mission, and that keeps people coming back and wanting to give back to our families.
How could DMI members or members of our community get involved and volunteer, or are there other ways the community can
Yeah,
help
so there's
support?
lots of ways that people get involved. I know, maybe some people don't have the time in their schedule for volunteering on a regular basis, and that's okay. But if you have time to maybe make a meal, so you can sign up on our website, rmhc madison.org. You can go there, you can sign up to make a meal. Maybe you can do it with, your business. It's do a team engagement. We either do like an afternoon shift, so you can come in the afternoon during work hours, to make snacks or bake sweet treats. We go through a lot of snacks here with kids and families on the go. We go through a lot of snacks, so we always need snacks. And then, or evenings, like a 4 to 6 engagement to make dinner. So that's just sort of a one and done. You can come in and do that. Another great way, we have businesses that do donation drives. So like so just like your house at home, we need all of those things times 100. So we need toilet paper and toiletries and cleaning supplies. And so a donation drive, we've had some businesses that have helped us with that. Another way is we have businesses that have become a house hero, and that's a program that includes both employee engagement and volunteer opportunities as well as recognition. And then, of course, we do have events, sponsorships, in-kind donations, all of those things that we need. But something just as simple as sharing our mission on social media that helps spread the word. I mean, that goes a long way. We often share that if we can get people in the door, come for a tour, they'll often then share our mission with others.
Stephanie, it's not just you that likes snacks. You're in the Ronald McDonald house. I literally have desks full of snacks here. I think we're all snackers and Americans here. What do the next sort of 5 to 10 years look like? What's the horizon? How do you want to grow as an organization and provide more support for families?
Yeah. So really our long-term vision is about growing with the families that we serve. And so not just today, but for the generations to come. So that not only means expanding our services. So as I mentioned, we've had really high occupancy. And so how do we figure out how to manage that for the years to come? How do we strengthen our partnerships both with the community, but also with our families? One of our major strategic priorities is how do we serve more families better? So as the family unit evolves, we're evolving with them and learning from our families what they want to see, what we can do to be even more supportive. And then, like all nonprofits these days, just making sure we really have strong, sustainable funding model to ensure that we are here for generations to come. And more than anything, we just want to make sure every family who comes through our doors, that they're surrounded by community that cares about them and is here to support them in any way possible.
Well, Stephanie, thank you for what you do for our community, what you do for people that really in need. We are just so thankful for what you do. Now, I didn't tell you this beforehand, but we've got something fun for you.
I love
Would you be
fun.
all right, good. Would you be willing to play the Fast and Furious 5, where I ask 5 rapid fire questions and you just tell me whatever's on the top of your mind? Easy questions.
I like it. Let's do it.
All right, good. Well, if you said no, that would be super awkward anyway.
It
So
would be.
I'm glad you said yes. All right. What's your favorite downtown restaurant?
Oh, there's so many good ones. I would say my favorite downtown restaurant right now would be Rare.
Oh, good steak.
I
Delicious. Right on
know.
the Capitol Square, great views. Nice, great patio right out
Great
front.
patio.
Great
Yeah.
patio. Favorite downtown event?
I actually love the Madison Night Market. Maybe it's because I'm a
Well,
shopper.
that is run by our sister organization, our great friends at Madison Central Business Improvement District. So that's a pretty good answer for us. And they just had
I
an amazing one last week.
maybe it's because I'm a shopper. I just love that everyone comes out, and it's so, I don't know. It's one of my favorite events. I always try to make it down there.
Favorite concert in Madison?
Ooh, Let's see. I mean, honestly, you guys are gonna make fun of me, but I'm not a huge concert goer, but I
Me
saw
neither.
the a cappella group from the UW at the Overture Center,
Oh yeah.
and I love that. I love a good a cappella. Give me a Pitch Perfect any day.
No, I think that's great. Look, what am I gonna say? The first concert I ever went to was the Beach Boys. I mean, so like with John Stamos on drums, like I'm in no, I have no standing to make fun of anyone's music.
By the way, I saw the Beach Boys when I was younger too, by the
It
way.
was good. I will say they forgot whatever. It
Mhm.
was like at the Minnesota State Fair. I was like 8 or something like that. It was great. It was great. And I don't, you're not interviewing me. I don't know why I'm answering these questions. Do you like ice cream?
I love ice cream.
All right, good. That's the right answer. What's your favorite Babcock ice cream flavor?
Um, it's the what I always forget the name of it, but it's like the Union Terrace one. What it has like
Union Utopia.
Union Utopia. There we go. Yes.
Well,
So
Stephanie, congratulations, because that is the right answer. That's my favorite too. So good. All right. You're not from Madison. I'm not from Madison originally. We've got, well, you and I, let's just say you have out of town visitors. What do you do for a day downtown to celebrate Madison?
Um, so I do have family from out of town that comes in, and so they know we're gonna go to the farmers market. We're gonna walk down State Street, do a little shopping. We're gonna end at the Union Terrace for a little spotted cow and some Union Utopia ice cream. So that's our day.
Way to tie that into a bow. I really appreciated that. Stephanie Hayden, CEO of the Ronald McDonald House of Madison. We are so thankful for you being here and all the work that you, Elise, and the entire team do for our community. I have a personal connection years ago, so thank you for what you've done, what you do, and what you're going to continue to do. Everyone should support this wonderful organization. Stephanie, thank you very much. We really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining us on our Downtown Happenings podcast. Hopefully, we'll see you downtown soon. Thank you and have a wonderful rest of your day. Back to you soon now.